What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, I want to show you a live trade today that I took on SPCE Virgin Galactic. I used the 9 EMA strategy today to find my entries and exits. I know I talk a lot about this strategy on the channel, but I don't have a live video sort of portraying how I use it, so I thought this would be a great learning opportunity. Overall, today was an extremely slow day for the market. Tesla traded 40% of its usual volume. I ended the day just about flat. I'll pop up my P&L for you to see. So in today's video, I'm not going to go over all of the trades I took, but just this one particular trade as a learning opportunity for you guys out there. So before we get into it, if you guys want to trade with me live every day from 9:30 to around 12 o'clock Eastern time, I'm in a voice channel in my Discord chat every single day for all the members to listen in live. I know a lot of you guys joined today and took this SPCE trade, so congratulations. If you want to check it out, it's going to be the first link in the description below. With that said, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for some future option trading videos, and let's go ahead and get into this one. So guys, normal setup here. Bottom right is SPCE, and that's where we're going to focus in on. That is where most of these trades are on. So looking at this chart, you guys will notice the blue line. That is the 9 EMA. So far throughout the day, it's about 15 minutes into the day, we've broke above the 9 EMA, we held it here, created a little bit of a flag, we broke out of the flag, we did the same thing again, another flag, and another breakout. Through this entire move, we held the 9 EMA extremely well, and this is why I was starting to get bullish here. It looked like SPCE wanted to hold this trend, and I wanted to get in some trades. So in about a second, you'll see how I have the $53 calls loaded in Active Trader, and I'm looking to get into this right here on this breakout of high of day. So playing this right here, I put in 4 calls, 4 contracts to get in SPCE, and what you'll see is we're still going to hold the 9 EMA. As long as we hold that 9 EMA, I'm comfortable holding this trade, and I'm just going to continue to see if we can hold it and break highs of day. So right here, we're starting to get that breakout. I'm going to go ahead and put this in 2 times speed so that we can look at this a little bit quicker. So we get a quick move here above high of day, and my goal is to sell into strength. So I'm going to start to look to scale out of some of these contracts and sell into this strength. Now, one thing you will notice in a second is this candle gets extremely bearish. It wicks down below 53, and that really spooks me out. It still held the 9 EMA, so I did a little bit. I sort of broke my rules here about holding through the 9 EMA, but I was quickly in profit. This resistance was very clear at 53. And you can see I get out of all of my contracts right there. And the main reason I did this was because if you look at these last 3 candles, it was a bearish wick here, a bearish wick here, and in about a second, you will see that this next candle does the exact same thing. So another pretty bearish wick here, and it ends up falling below the 9 EMA about 2 minutes later after these 1-minute candles. So I did take profits here. I got this quick move above high of day, locking in about $38, so nothing big, but I was just respecting this resistance level that was sort of happening in the past. So if I fast forward this, you'll see that right there, we get a pretty nasty crack below the 9 EMA, below that $53 resistance. And at this point, the trade is invalidated. So if you guys see a chart like this where it's breaking below that 9 EMA, the setup is not there. What you want to do is you want to wait to see if we can reclaim that. And after I pick up this video, you will see that we did just that. So picking it up here, what you'll notice here is that we did fall below the 9 EMA. So at this point, you're out of the trade because you have 2 candles that are below that 9 EMA according to this strategy. We did hold the VWAP, which is a very bullish sign. We did hold that VWAP line, which is the gray line. And after we reclaimed the 9 EMA right here on this 1-minute candle, and we held it on these next 4 1-minute candles, this is when I started to look to get into this again. I was starting to get bullish again to see if we can try this $53 resistance once again for a break of high of day. So I'll play this right here. You guys will see this candle started to get me very interested. We can see some strong push through that $53 level resistance. And right there, I put in 5 contracts on the $53 calls to get into this. I'll move this to 2 times speed. And what you'll see is we get a really nice move through this high of day. And I'm going to be looking to sell into this strength once again. Now, in hindsight, obviously, if I just held these contracts like the 9 EMA strategy sort of does, I would have made more money. But what I was doing, my goal here was to scale out of some of them and let a little bit less contracts ride, let them ride that 9 EMA. So I have 5 contracts. Right here, I'm scaling out of 3. So my mindset here is that let me scale out of some of these contracts, let me take some profits, and then I'll let it ride on the 9 EMA with a little bit less size. So I know I have some money in my pocket, and if it wants to continue higher on this 9 EMA, I'll let these little bit less contracts ride a little bit more. So here we can see, I'll pick up the video and we'll see how SPCE sort of falls down. It does hold the 9 EMA, and in hindsight, this sell right here definitely is something I wish I could take back. So right here, I sell 2 contracts, so I get out of my last 2 contracts. So at this point, I have no position. I take about $118 in profit so far on the day. But what you'll notice is that this never falls below the 9 EMA, and we continue to make this same pattern where we flag and we break out. So I'll fast forward this and you'll see that we hold it really well and we break out to new highs right there. So if I would have trusted the strategy a little bit more on this scalp right here in particular, I would have definitely had some nicer profits. So I'm not going to say that I traded this strategy perfect. It's very hard to do it perfectly with emotions, with what's going on as is. This is all in hindsight, right? So it's very easy. But this is just sort of a testament to how this strategy works. So we broke above, we did pull back, but we held it very nicely right here, and then we flagged and made new highs. So there's another quick move. I'm up about $118 on SPCE. We're still holding the 9 EMA, and I have one more trade that I'll show you guys that I did much better at trusting the process. So picking it up here, you'll see that we did break below the 9 EMA right here at around 10 o'clock. So we had 2 consecutive green or red candles below the 9 EMA. So that sort of breaks the strategy. We reclaimed it once again, and you can see over the last about 10 minutes, we held above it. So right here, I put in 1 contract on SPCE to look for a high of day break of $55. So you'll see I'll play this. I'll get filled right here on SPCE for 1 more contract. So after that fill, I do hold this contract much longer than I did in the past. So you'll see I continue to ride this 1 contract until I get into a nice profitable position, and I just take it to get flat on the day. So you'll see if I'm fast forwarding this to 5 times speed, we do not fall below this 9 EMA at all. I'm currently in this position. I'm down about 4% right now. But as long as we hold this 9 EMA, I'm holding this position. So I'll fast forward this and we'll continue to grind higher. Boom, new highs. 9 EMA continues to grind higher. We continue to move to that $56 level. We're still holding. We're still holding. I'm not concerned. Right here is a little bit concerning, right? So we have a really big flush to the downside. But with 1 contract, I did hold through this. I held through this because I want to see if this 1 minute candle can have 2 consecutive red candles. We only had 1 right now. So let's see what this next 1 minute candle closes at. So we'll move it. Then right here, we get a push right back through 9 EMA. So I am still in this position. We get a nice strong push. We reclaim the 9 EMA and we break to new highs of day. I'm still in this position of about 28%. You can see we're moving. We're still going on the 9 EMA. Sort of grinding higher, and right around here I start to look to take my profit. So I'm up 35% on this contract, and right there I take my contracts and I get out of the trade, I believe. So right here I go ahead and I take my profit, and now I'm up $325 on the day on SPCE. So I got in around, I think, 10:20, and I just continued to ride this higher as long as SPCE held above this 9 EMA and above the 45 EMA. I'm in this trade. I had 1 contract, so I was much more comfortable holding and letting this ride, and this was actually my best trade. If I just would have let those larger contracts ride and had more trust in the process, I would have made more money. But here is just a realistic example of how this strategy works. As long as you're sort of grinding on this line, then you want to continue to hold. Any type of big dip like this one right here, where we had 2 candles close below, then that's your exit. So here's 2 candles closing below. Back here is 2 candles closing below. But right here, this was not 2 candles closing below. We had 1 close below, the next one pushed above, and that's why I stayed in it on this particular dip. So hopefully this live trade gives you a little bit more of a realistic idea of how I use this strategy. Obviously, not every single trade I'm going to do it perfectly. In hindsight, I wish I would have held those contracts earlier in the day, but you can't trade in hindsight. I got out when I saw some resistance. I wanted to lock in some profits. When I saw it really grind and really hold that 9 EMA, I let the winner ride a little bit. That last trade was my best trade. I sized down. I was a little bit more comfortable just letting it hold. I was already green on the day on SPCE, and it ended up being the best trade. If you guys want to use the strategy, just go ahead and add the 9 EMA on your charts. There's a lot of traders that use that as intraday support, so it definitely is respected quite a bit. Now, obviously, in a choppy market, it does not get respected, but anything that's trending throughout the day, that is usually the first level of support. So that's gonna wrap up today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to smash that like button before you head out, subscribe for some future videos, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.